Okay, welcome everybody to this weekly KvCORE success webinar. Today's topic is success with KvCORE landing pages. Annalisa's here. Hi, Annalisa.
Hello, everybody.
So just as always, we'll remind you that this is recorded. So if you're wondering about that, if you have to get off for some reason, you'll always be able to get the recordings. Annalisa is going to drop the link to you if you're watching live right now in the GoToWebinar.
Here it comes.
Grab that. And yeah, so today's outline is we're going to do a quick intro about landing pages, and we're going to show a bunch of examples. That's going to be a lot of fun. Your head might start swimming, so don't go nuts there. But what we want to do is show you what's possible with the landing page feature. So there's going to be a lot of examples, just a warning. Then we'll go through a quick demo of just how to build a page. Annalisa has included a bunch of documentation at the bottom of the doc about the specifics of building the different types of pages. But we're just going to do a quick demo, give you the ins and outs of the builder, talk about some things to keep in mind, some pro tips, things like that, and then we'll have some extra resources down at the bottom. Sound good? Can everybody hear me? Can somebody hear me?
I can hear you and see the share screen. If someone could pop into the GoToWebinar chat and just let us know that we're 5 by 5, you can see the screen and hear us, chat that in, that would be super helpful.
And you know what would be cool? When we do the demo section today, I want to grab one of you guys and maybe build a page for you. So
cool.
Let me know what niche you have that you work and what area you're in. And whatever I think is most interesting, maybe we'll grab that one. We'll have a little fun with it. So that'll be in about 10 minutes. Just drop a little thing like, hey, I want to do this niche, you know, downsizing, upsizing, whatever it might be, income properties, and we'll build a page out for your market on your KvCORE domain. All right, so let's go first and just talk about what a landing page is. The way we term landing pages around here is it's a simple one-page website that has very little clutter or distraction on it, meaning there's not much to do. I'm going to kind of bring up one here. And it hits the lizard brain of the visitor. So going a little bit into psychology or marketing psychology, the idea with these pages is that as soon as somebody lands on these bad boys, they are presented with an offer and an option that just hits them right over the head and makes them act or not act on what they're seeing. So that's our template. And they can only act or leave. And I have POGOTP, one of my favorite things, but it's a good analogy and a good way to think of these is that they have a choice to either poop or get off the pot. All right. So, and when you think about these pages with that framework, you realize you have a very little time to make somebody act, right? They're right there. They're either going to take action right away or they're going to bounce off the page. It sets the framework for how you're going to go about creating these and how much work you're going to put into crafting your messages and what is being offered. So that's that. And the big benefit to you is that the conversions tend to be higher than, say, squeeze pages or than sending somebody directly to your main KvCORE URL where they're going to see all kinds of links and a navigation and all kinds of properties and get distracted. And conversions tend to be higher, if you get the right copy and offer down. And that's why we're going to show you a bunch of examples to kind of give you some direction there on what kind of pages to build. And I'll say this quickly, maybe we'll show this when we go and build, Annalisa, the page, but where to build in KvCORE, what we're talking about is in the lead engine of your KvCORE dashboard. So it's that lead engine link, and I believe it's right under landing pages, but we'll take a look at that in a minute.
Let's jump in. The top left of Legion, I believe, yeah.
Good. So let's start with some fun stuff. I'm just going to start going through some examples, kind of rapid fire here, of pages that other people have built and that we've used as demos, just so we can start to have some fun, okay? And a few minutes ago, there we go. So here's the first one. You may qualify for free down payment money. I like the use of the word you in copy is pretty good. It kind of calls them out, say somebody just clicked off a Facebook ad. It says, hey, this is about you, and you might qualify for a free down payment money. So this one offers some information about how to get down payment assistance. That's a great hook if you want to do the first-time buyer thing. Okay, let's do our next one here. 10 lowest price homes in an area. I think this is actually linking through to a group post, so I'm gonna
Yes.
skip that one for now. Spanish, so foreign language examples here. Are these all group posts, not the actual pages?
These are the direct posts to that post, so they should load right up into the page.
All right, 1 second. I know the problem. Copy. I am not logged in this browser to Facebook.
Oh, shoot.
Here we go. Here we go. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
Good. All right, so yeah, up here, there's an example that I had. It's the 10 lowest priced condos in St. Pete, Florida. So this could work for any sort of niche search, right? You do the 10 or the 20 highest price, lowest price type of property in city. Okay. Here's a video landing page in Spanish.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Both the Seeking a Yard for Your Dog and the Lead Gen Reduced Homes in Chester, I had translated into Spanish. And I would say, if you're considering doing ads in other languages, make sure you are a professional speaker yourself to get the right conjugation and the right formals, especially in Spanish. So really, pay attention to and respect to the language.
Okay, so I'll reference those examples in the doc because they're not opening up.
And I'll try and pull them and add them in here too later.
Great. So here's a luxury example. This is a nice looking page of a luxury home. It's a video view page, so you show the video tour of the property first, or a teaser, and then it has enter email cell to see more inside the property. So this is cool. It doesn't have the address there. It doesn't have the price. I might do see price and pics instead of showing me the property, and you get a little curiosity going. But this is good. Also in the headline, maybe put the actual address of the property, but it could be that in this case, this agent was leaving it off to induce curiosity. So just kind of a tip there. Leave out some of the stuff, but show enough to make people curious and want to go over to the other side of the wall right there. But that's a nice looking page, huh? And in this case, I think they leveraged the custom background feature, which is cool.
And we had a question. Hey, is the KvCORE platform logo on the top a must? So these were built on our test pages as KvCORE employees. So it's showing our logo there. So when you create yours, it's going to show your brokerage logo.
Great point. And personally, I like to just get rid of the logo because I have this theory that people don't like real estate agents, and the less I can be in their face that the real estate agent's going to be chasing, the conversions will be better, but that's just me. So you do have the option to double click and get rid of the logo, or leave it on, depending on the kind of page you're building.
And make sure you're within your MLS rules and regs if you have to have your broker logo showing.
Yeah, I like to put it underneath, like the name of the brokerage and the address. Stay compliant, of course.
Cool with me. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I was going to say it, so there you go.
There you go. So new listing tour, free weekly list of open houses. I think I put some screenshots in here. So this falls again, there's kind of unlimited options when it comes to just going into your MLS or going into your IDX search on your site. Anything you can build a squeeze link for with your search, you can build a page for. So open houses, income properties, planned for sale, most walkable homes, over 55, they're waterfront, it's unlimited. So this sort of formula, free weekly list of right there is good. And I had a little fun with the sub headline here, so you have something fun to do while the Giants are being destroyed on Sunday. So you can have a little fun with it.
And it builds that continuity of presence, and people tend to kind of rely on those lists. They like to look at them after a while.
Yeah. So this page, homes for sale under 300, I kind of showed that. I would like to be more specific here, a specific neighborhood or zip code. Say you do Gulfport, Florida, single family homes for under 300K or something like that. There. This one's cool. Wanting to switch brokerages, thinking about a switch, consider joining the nation's largest team of independent real estate pros. So you could definitely do recruiting with these pages. We talk about this a lot. And go run an ad on Facebook or wherever else realtors might be hanging out. You could also do a free report here, or some kind of content that would be valuable to an agent. So you could even do Watch a free video. I mean, this is an idea. It's one of my favorite techniques. Watch a free recorded webinar about how to build landing pages that convert. And you could give away the recording of this very webinar in order to attract agents. What I'm hinting at there is that you could use this landing page feature to give away other people's content that's being shared on YouTube and other places. You know, we're not stealing. If they put it on YouTube, then it's kind of freely embeddable. Make sense, Annalisa? Okay.
Yes, it does. Sorry, I was typing. Yes.
No, all good. This is an example here. I'm going to have to open up Facebook for this one. I didn't consider that. Let's see here.
Should open up pretty handily, I would hope.
Yeah, it will. I just haven't signed in on that computer, and
browser, yeah.
I put that two-factor authorization on my account, so then I'll have to go to my cell phone and all this stuff. So
wow.
So here I recorded a video about a page that Boris had made, Boris Toplisky down, I think, in Miami, and he had a really cool approach where he was advertising a broker's open house at a specific time, and he was kind of using this as a dual. He was collecting a list of brokers who are registering, but it also kind of functions as a recruiting angle. So that was a really smart example of a use of a page, I thought, when I saw it. It was pretty brilliant, actually. Niche to sports team right here is another example. So Columbia Lions fans celebrate the next win in style. You can always do a list of homes near the sports park. And here's an example. I like the affinity here, basically, where you get to the page, you know, and it's got the stadium in the background, if you can see that kind of nice subliminally in the background. Subliminally. All right, next one. Here's an example of pages where you would offer some piece of content that you would record. So first-time home buyers webinar, first-time investors webinar. Could also be an in-person. You know, you can have people register, so it could say first-time home buyers, not a webinar, but first-time home buyers class. You know, Tuesday. You put the location and the time in the subheadline, and then the button could say register. So that's another use. Get people to register for events. You can even do open houses like that too. You know, exclusive.
Send them on over to Eventbrite or something.
Yeah.
Zap it in.
Or just have them opt in, and then on your thank you page, it could be a blog post about the event.
Gotcha.
Another angle here. 3 best Tampa neighborhoods to invest in for future price appreciation. So again, this is another example of where you would create some piece of content and then use a page to give it away. You know, 5 reasons why your house isn't selling. You know, you can target expireds with that. You know, 21 things I'll do to get your home sold that your last agent didn't. Those kinds of things. So it's really endless. I was actually running out of time pulling these examples together prior, so we may sneak some more in here. The last example we had was get a free weekly transcript of the most recent Yorkshire real estate transactions. And this one actually does pretty good. I posted to the group last week. I'm trying this sort of offer up with Facebook ads right now. I'm getting some pretty nice results where you offer a weekly list of transactions. Now, you might have to, in this case, do a blog post every week, you know, or a video screencast and talk about the latest transactions if the sold data isn't available. But it is a good angle to put a lot of homeowners into your database. Okay, anybody else have any idea, any suggestions of pages? If you want to drop an example of a page you've done, we'd love to hear it here and we'll add it.
We do have some ideas for some pages.
Yeah, so share some other ideas that we didn't put in here and I'll kind of throw them on.
Well, we have, I'll still is saying, you know, I certify with inspections, appraisal, and home warranty, FSBOs. Lisa saying, I don't have a niche yet, but I would like to downsize or do a first-time home buyer, you know, learning the industry.
Okay, so free weekly list.
Yeah.
Free weekly list of smaller.
Like cottage homes or something?
Of smaller homes under, you know, 900 square feet for downside.
Yeah, Evgeny is saying, hey, how about fixer-uppers?
Yeah, for sure.
Those are always big. Yep. And, you know, in speaking to the empty nest, this is where I would bring up the past session with Damien when we talked of Instagram and his use of their concierge to help people pack if they're downsizing or moving out. So look at setting up barter opportunities with your own community of businesses around you and loop all that in as well. So just kind of a side idea.
So you're kind of saying like a bonus. There's a guy here in St. Pete. I think it's just awesome. It says free pizza when you
Yeah,
buy the house on his
right.
signs. It's so funny. But it
It
would be
works.
like, yeah. So buy this house. Get $500 in free concierge services when you buy your next home in Tampa. That could be a
Yep.
headline.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
pretty cool idea and very effective.
Yeah. So the fixer uppers, that is a very powerful one. I can't believe I didn't have an example of that, but whoever said that, that's if you really want a lot of leads fast, that's going to work really well.
You
So
need
free
it. Good job.
weekly list, fixer uppers, foreclosures,
And reduced.
bank owned foreclosures, and short sales, something like that. Um, Free weekly list, Tampa fixer uppers. We didn't get reduced in there. Reduced properties. Tampa, Florida homes with motivated
Yes, is a keyword.
sellers. Yeah, so you can search on your site for the keyword motivated, and
Oh,
that always works well.
another one is building a landing page about a property you just sold and then trying to target the neighborhood around them to try to drum up more inventory.
So circle prospecting.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like,
I just sold 123 Main Street in X amount of days, or this much over asking, or etc. We're looking for inventory in your area, something like that. And I think then you can like target 1 to 2 miles around via the ad manager, or what are they calling it now? Ad something in Facebook. But you could target that.
so that's interesting. All right, so I'm gonna riff on this because it seems like we're moving pretty fast. I might have an extra minute here, so maybe we're coming up with something fun. So what if we did 123 Main Street sold for $399K. For
Yep.
more details about this transaction and a weekly list of sold properties in Gulfport, Florida, enter your email for more details. Now, you guys are going to notice I'm always deleting these bullet points, and that's because there's a couple of schools in copywriting, like the long copy school and a short copy. Neither one's right or wrong. But for me, I feel like anytime I start to add more bullets, I increase the chances that I'm going to confuse the person and confuse the lizard brain. And if somebody's confused, it's kind of the enemy of everything. They'll just bounce off. So I don't want to
Less is
make it.
more.
I don't want. Yeah, I don't want to make them read too much. Yes, less is more. So that's
Yep.
why, 123 Main Street sold for $399K. Enter your email for more details about this transaction, weekly list. Now, and this might seem small on a desktop, but remember, most of your traffic these days is going to be mobile, and these just look
Mm-hmm.
really nice on mobile, and gets right to the point. I love that idea, Annalise, for circle prospecting. So
Yeah, it's a fun one because then you have a built-in list with the hashtag that you can utilize for that area to farm. And, if these people are going to be ones that you might identify as empty nesters or people looking to move, then you can start speaking to relocation or how old is their child? When's their child going to college? Where are they going to college? Do we need to set up a retargeting to help them refer to get their kid an apartment up where they're going to college as an investment? I mean, there's so many facets to think
yeah,
about.
okay,
Why
this
pay
is
rent when you can buy a condo?
yeah, I love this seller angle. So Patricia Trish is she's chatting, and I'm loving this one because she's saying,
The
what about
relocation.
ready to leave California, and saying,
Yep.
I can relocate. I
Yeah,
think,
they're coming here to Washington, but that's okay.
yeah. So I think I like, your ad could read something like, is California too expensive? So show somebody with like no money coming out of their wallet or something. House poor,
Month.
house poor, house poor. California too expensive. We're playing on some
Yep.
emotions here. And then the subheadline is, download my free leave Cali relocation kit and get a list and get, this is interesting, and get lists of more affordable homes from my partners in
Yeah.
5 markets that people from Cali are flocking to. And, you know, I'm saying this is interesting because you could, you know, find 5 other KvCORE users in Arizona,
Yep.
Washington, right? And then
Yes.
give their list and get their, and have those squeeze
Well,
links back to you and
even
get referrals.
even BC, I mean, there's a big exodus. There's always this, there's been for 20 years, but there's always a lot of people coming up, and then they end eventually kind of going to Canada, and then it all starts over, right? So it just kind of cycles through.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, this is a great listing angle. Thanks, Trish. I mean, I really like this one, and you could, the referral aspect of that, you know,
mhm.
giving people lists of houses in other markets with your referral partners. That's,
It's
I don't
kind
know,
of
I'm
like
like,
a nice side hustle to get that referral money going too.
we're upsetting some Cali people in the comments. All right, sorry.
Oh, I'm not meaning to. It's a great state. I'm just saying I have a lot of people from California that are my friends now that have moved up here.
Yeah, Evgeny's got a great idea. Want to buy a house for Airbnb? Yeah, that's a good one. A free list of Airbnb friendly properties that you can rent for profit, right? And this is an
Yep.
issue. You know, the town I'm in, my brother ran into this. He was Airbnb-ing his house, but he actually wasn't allowed to in the specific area, you know, specific neighborhood he was in. So he had to go to year-round with the other units in his property. So if you're in that kind of market and there's certain places you can and can't be doing this Airbnb idea, this is a great angle, Evgeny. I love it. Free list of Airbnb-friendly properties because you're offering a business opportunity, not just you're making a market for yourselves. Because somebody who wasn't thinking about buying or selling a house yesterday suddenly might see this and be like, oh wait, you know, I've got an extra spare 20 grand in the bank. I need to make it work for me. Why don't I buy a property and Airbnb it out? So, yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that suggestion. Cool. I'm looking at. Yeah, Lisa says good idea. Whoever said that. Yep. So yeah, that's great. You guys just kind of flooded us with some good ones, and we got some examples in there. And I'm sure there's hundreds more, and we'll be sure to include them on the doc as we see them. Okay, so rapid fire. That was some examples. We had this demo here. Let's build a page for someone. I think I kind of just did that, and unintentionally, we just kind of went right into it. Leanne's asking, how do you search for Airbnb qualified properties? I think, you know, there's a little more work to be done there, but the way that I would go about that is to just go into your MLS or go into your site and manually do some searching and some research and write a blog post about it. You know, and maybe you do this blog post once a month, you update it with the properties that are still in the market, and just pick 5 to 10 that you think have promise as an Airbnb rental. You know, not every property on the market's going to do that, but if you see a duplex, you know, or something close to the water, just compile the list and offer it with a landing page. And I think that brings up a good point with all of this. You know, everybody knows these days that they can go on Zillow, they can go on Realtor.com and get this stuff, search for properties for free. But when we start to get creative and niche things down like this, and if we take an extra half hour, an hour to compile a list of Airbnb friendly properties and do a blog post about it, you know, it sets us apart from those other portals and also from the rest of our competition. So yeah, you know, you're not going to be able to go into KvCORE and search Airbnb, though you can try with a keyword. It's better to just curate that content and make a list. So cool. Alrighty. So yeah, lots of examples. We kind of showed a demo. I do want to get more though into the nitty gritty, so let's not cheat here. I'm going to log into KvCORE real quick in another window. Annalisa, do you want to talk a little bit while I do that? About anything you have?
Absolutely. I think the important thing to think about when you're creating these pages is I encourage you to kind of sit down and flesh out how does this fit into my marketing scheme for all the other tools within KvCORE, because if you're going to create a squeeze page and drop those results into a landing page, you have a couple of different elements playing. You can take your landing page and create a custom text code for it. You can drop that landing page information into a blog. I mean, you can think about the different ways you can get the same type of message across just a little differently to different audiences, even using that custom text code within a Craigslist ad to give another avenue of getting in contact with you. So it's just you got to think about the different elements, I think, as well. And when you're building the landing pages to go very thoughtfully and slowly, it's one of those things that there's a lot of thought that needs to go into these that we're going to cover while Ryan is building, because there's a specific order in which things need to be entered in. And I actually went through and outlined the steps that you need to follow on this document for each of the landing pages. So you have those for reference.
Great. It's taking me a second to get in the KvCORE here. I think my kids are in there with like 18 friends playing Fortnite again. They always wait till webinar time.
Oh yeah, they know.
Yeah, and my router doesn't love it. Oh, that's a great idea. A list of condos that just went through major renovations or that need it. So, yeah, recently renovated condos. We didn't touch on new construction either. New construction always plays pretty well if you show a really nice picture of a house in an ad, and land.
Right, and that's when and you can do different things such as, if you've got an area where people have a lot of dogs and they live in town, maybe you want to do the cluster of homes around dog parks or close to dog parks or close to a park or things of that nature.
Yeah. Okay, so this took me forever to load up, but basically what I wanted to show you was where to go to fire up the landing page builder. So it's on that lead engine tab.
Do you want me to do it on my end?
Maybe, but I'm actually starting to wonder if it's KvCORE because I just checked, and most of my other sites are zippy.
Mine's zipping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now here we are, landing page. Up at the top left, as Annalisa said before, if you have managed multiple sites, if you're an admin, you're going to pick the URL that you're building it on, and that's how you get to this page right here.
Mm-hmm.
Annalisa, you're gonna help me because you always come up with things that I forget with this builder. Sure. But I'm just gonna kind of walk. You go ahead, and I'll drive.
Oh, I was gonna say on the top left, this is like your menu of different types of landing pages, examples, and results. So this top section is going to be your different templates. The two most commonly used is the lead gen and video and lead. So they're both basically the same, except one has video added to it.
Yeah.
And then as you work down the middle of that drop down, what you're going to have is like when you're looking at all the different examples, you've got the little save button at the top right, that little orange save button. When you're looking at the second and third section on that drop down, it's going to say reference, which means you can look at it as an idea. However, it's not going to let you edit the content. See how it says reference there? So it's saying, hey, this is an idea of what you could do. So it's not something you can actively edit.
Yeah, we should actually put a link to this webinar in here so people can access it.
I agree.
Cool.
And then the bottom section actually shows you the results of current users of the platform. So it's going to say, this is what they created and these were their results. So it can give you an idea of what's working and maybe something of which you can try to duplicate.
Great. I'm not sure about those numbers, but okay.
That's just what I have been trained to know. So,
I think there's some revamping coming with this, but let's focus on what it does well. So go ahead.
The cool thing about this is basically when you're creating a landing page, you're creating a call to action that pretty much triggers a new lead on your dashboard in about 10 seconds or less on average. So when you drop your description in the submit button text, it's going to cement onto that orange button. So that very first field at the top left is where you drop in the name, like your action. And when you click outside of the box, that's what cements that title on the button.
Yeah.
Now your whole purpose here is to get those people to click the button. And when they click the button, we're going to send them to the URL after login. So that second field over across the top is where are we sending them for more information?
Right. So let's say we're redirecting them to, we're offering a list of condos. What we would do is we would redirect them to the list of condos.
Right.
So you would want to get that list, that link from your site beforehand.
Yep. And you can either build it, on the dashboard itself via your listings or on the front side. I like to use the front side a little better, or a squeeze page.
Yep. So run your search on the front or create the squeeze page in the back end using the squeeze builder.
Yeah.
Do it either way. Now, you don't actually need to use the squeeze page parameters like the hashtag and source and everything, only because you're kind of setting those at the landing page. So it gets a little redundant.
And then you skip hashtag. That'll always be last across the top. Yeah. Now, you can either say, yes, I want to require the phone number, or no, I don't.
Okay.
And then you can choose your background. Now, this is kind of neat because we supply a handful of backgrounds of which you can grab and just drop in, like super thoughtful lady, right? Or you can click background, custom URL. And if you have a photo online of which you're hosting or you have permission to use or you're going to be using, you just drop the URL for that photo there and it generates the image behind your landing page. So it creates a new custom image for that page.
And then you can also grab an MLS ID, right?
Yes. Yeah, if you just have the MLS ID, you just drop that MLS ID into that, and then it generates the primary image of the listing in the background.
So I'm going to do that. Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty neat tool. Now you can loop back and drop your hash in.
Yeah, it never occurred to me that, this is a great way to get different, even if you not doing a landing page about that listing. If you just want a nice picture of a house.
And that's why I'm like when I'm speaking to specific neighborhoods, maybe it's a house they've seen or they know or they live by, and they're like, "Ooh, it sold for that much. Maybe we were thinking about moving." You just never know.
Yep. So definitely. So you can pop the MLS in the background.
Yep. And then once you have your background in place, then you can drop your hashtag into that field there.
Now, does it matter?
You do not need the actual numeric sign in there. You just type the word. So you don't need the hashtag itself, just type in the word.
Okay.
And then this in turn, as people register, are going to give you that built-in list to sort in your smart CRM, which you can then leverage on sending out mass email, mass text, scheduled mass email, your dialer. I mean, there's so many applications you can sort with on a hashtag.
Yeah, so basically by adding the hashtag, you let yourself track things. The hashtags are also searchable in business analytics. So you can go all the way back and say, hey, how much revenue did I get off this particular landing page?
And then, hey, let's do that again.
Good question from Kristen. Can you redirect to a custom built page through your system? Yeah, you can actually set the URL to be anything you want here. Lisa, does it auto log them in?
Yes. That's the thing. So you've got your button text, you've got your button connected to a link. If you're sending them to your own website or your own domain, they're going to be seamlessly logged in. So in about 10 seconds, they're going to click the button, be redirected. They're going to be registered as a lead. They're going to be hashtagged, and away you go.
So my question is, if they say, I know that if I send them to my own property search, the system will log them in and it'll start logging property views.
Correct.
But I've done this before, and I guess it doesn't really matter, but if you send them to a YouTube video, it'll still send them into the CRM, and then they're still logged into your system in case after they watch the YouTube video, they then go back to your site?
As far as I understand, if you're sending them to a site outside of your domain, it's not going to pre-log them in because we're not sending them to our site to view something at that point. So you may want to take your YouTube and drop it into a blog, or make sure you've got an enhanced listing like with a virtual tour attached.
Yeah, that brings up a great point. Whenever possible, try to take them to your site, but if you have unique content, you don't want to take them to a list of properties, just put it into a page or a blog post.
Yep.
Cool.
And then once you have those elements in place, you can move down into the body of the landing page. So you can double click to get rid of your logo. Again, make sure you're following your local rules and regs. And then wherever you see text, you can actually just click in there and type away and create your own content.
And double clicking always deletes.
Yes. Now, with the double clicking on these bullets, which I always really get rid of mine as well. Once you double click a bullet to get rid of it, you're not bringing it back until you start your page over. That's why I always say be very thoughtful and deliberate when you're creating these pages.
Cool. And then you have the subheadline here. If you enter your cell, we will text you cool stuff. I remember when Justin was building this years ago, I was kind of joking around like you should have some kind of message underneath.
I remember that.
And he just made it part of it, and it's been there forever. Don't eat this.
You can get rid of it if you want, but it works.
Yeah, I would do if you enter your cell, we will, and then something specific, like we will text you the best deal we know about right now. So if you leave the cell number optional, you're giving them a reason why they should give the cell number.
Yeah.
And then you know the people who do give the cell number are more engaged and probably will give you a real number. So that's the basics of building the regular lead generation page.
And I do want to point out that when you click the save button, once you save it, there's no editing.
Yeah,
So
I'll never get that back.
Really careful. And also, if you look in the browser before we save it, you'll see a huge link. See that super long string? That means it's not a full-blown landing page yet. We haven't saved it. This is not something to take and share, which some people have misunderstood for a completed link. So you always need to click save. The page will refresh, and then you'll see like a little green share guy up in the left-hand side, and then a shorter link will land in the browser when you save this landing page.
Now, little tip, little cheat, if you can remember to do this, you can actually save this while you're editing, and you can go back to it even after you save. So
good idea.
It's kind of an advanced tip, but it'll allow you to go back later and edit your pages if you save the edit link with all the parameters. Now, just so everybody knows that this is, I know that it's on the roadmap. This is going to be revamped so that a lot of these little intricacies aren't there anymore.
And Michael saying, hey, spell check, spell check, spell check. So yeah, always make sure you double check your spelling and your verbiage. Ryan saying, hey, where do we find the list of pages we had created? So I did include on the sheet a Google Sheet for you to use if you want to keep track. And it was just right. You were almost there. Right there. A little up. Right
we do
there.
not see these.
Yeah, that last sentence in there. So you can actually save these on a Google Sheet, which is what I used to do when I was a user. And the Google Sheet's great because it stays on your desktop and it travels with you mobile. And as you create these niche targeted landing pages, there's really no need to recreate them as you go because you've already got a real solid one. And you can also create 2 different ones and do A to B tracking and see which one's more successful and so forth.
Yeah, so the answer is they're not saved, and that's one of the things that's being addressed where you will be able to go back later and edit and see what you've saved and see the stats on landing pages from in the dashboard. So that's on the horizon. I think that the important thing today, especially if you're watching this later, is the actual, the ideas and the tactics, and then the platform's only going to get better from a usability perspective.
And
cool.
Michael saying, hey, can we get a copy that Ryan's typing up? Yes, I'll go ahead and drop it into the group again right now so everyone has it again. And it'll also be uploaded into the Facebook groups.
Cool, so I'll just touch upon some of the other options here. You can do address-only landing pages. So if you want to build your own seller capture pages, be notified, I didn't mention this, be notified whenever one of your neighbors puts their house up for sale. That could be a good seller angle, right? And this is an easy one because whenever somebody opts in here, you could just set the hashtag automatic alerts based on that hashtag. And basically, you're offering to set them alerts. They're opting in to get alerts. So
I think another idea I forgot to mention is you can also target like school districts. Like if there's a STEM school that people are, because STEM is huge right now, and there's more and more STEM schools and more medical schools for high schoolers. So if you're looking for people moving into your area for these opportunities, you can also create lists around these new schools that are being built. And then you can build a custom page speaking to how to register, how to how to initiate contact with the school for registration, etc.
Yep. So here's one. You need something really compelling here, but we have the Facebook Messenger one where it'll just basically take you. It'll have people talking with you directly on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an idea, and we have what other ones do we have? We have our text code landers.
Right.
So you can put a text code in and collect cell numbers right there. And yep, I think that was it. The content hijack is kind of wacky. That's just going to drive you nuts. I'm not even going to talk about it. The idea was that when it puts another page and puts this in front of another page, so you could drive traffic to another page and then shows this.
I could choose your own adventure.
Yeah, here, why don't we just do it? Test. So say I wanted to drive traffic to inside real estate. It's kind of a gray hat thing that a lot of affiliate marketers do, where you'll send traffic to one URL.
And Chris is saying, hey, do you guys offer pre-made templates or do we create them from scratch? So we have the pre-made templates for each of the different types of landing pages that give you from the scratch. So you've got the templates and then you go in and create the content into the template. So we don't have anything pre-made quite yet. I'll have to check with product to see if we're going to be having anything like that.
I think that's coming with the new editor.
I think so too, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah. Cool. And my content hijack just bugged out on me. So yeah, let's not. In my opinion, there's not a lot of uses for that. It's better to just drive traffic directly to the offer you're making.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So we covered a lot here today. Let's see if we had any extras. Annalisa, you included a link to the loan programs.
Right. And those stats I used on the NHF are directly from that NHF site. Like 70% of people don't know they've got money that they could tap into. That's huge.
Yep. How to squeeze a landing page. That's a training you did, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I put a couple of links to articles about writing landing page headlines and headline formulas. Those are both juicy articles in there. How to offer a PDF report from a landing page, to kind of generate the URL for the PDF report. I have here pro tip. I probably have a video that we'll link here. But say you're doing like bobblehead dolls that I've talked about, like business card holders, or you're doing billboards, or you're doing print advertising, postcards, whatever. You could do something like 33711homevalues.com and redirect to the landing page so that it's a link that's friendly for somebody to type in. So that was just a pro tip right there.
Cool idea.
And then the video views bridge technique. I just want to mention this. So this is a little, instead of sending somebody directly to the content, the idea here would be that you do a video and you thank them for opting into your content before you let them continue to the actual content. So copy this link. And I would recommend, almost anytime you build a landing page, do this. Redirect them to a blog post with a video inside. Or in this example, what I do is I redirect them to
keyword bridge on that page.
Yeah, you know what I did? I searched for bridge, and it's the second one down instead of giving the direct link. I'll fix that in the doc. But I kind of have a screenshot of it there. And you know what? I'm going to have to edit this. This is my old domain, my old URL, so it's dead. I used to have an old KvCORE. KvCORE site. So, but you get the idea. It's kind of like it says, check your email, click the button below. So it's me saying, hey, thanks for downloading this. I'm here. Here's my cell number. Reach out to me anytime. And then they can continue on to the actual content. So in practice, what that looks like is you build 2 landing pages. You build the lead generation page, right, as your main page, and you build the video view page as the thank you. And Annalisa, I think we did a whole webinar on that actually. I'm gonna dig that out and I'll put it in the doc.
It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, within the last 3 or 4 months, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So that technique though will help you get better conversions. If somebody can see a video of you right after they opt in, and you can kind of pre-sell them and build some rapport automatically versus just sending them in and letting the system send texts and emails. They'll have context on the texts and emails if they see a video of you right there. And that's why I put that in as an extra pro tip. Cool. All right. When is the new editor launching? Well, you guys will be excited about this. The new email editor, I don't think anybody will mind me saying this. I think the goal for the new email editor, where you can, embed images, it'll just be way easier to use. The goal is 2 weeks from now. It's like around the 20th or the 21st. So don't hold me to that. But sometime within a week or 2 of that, we should have that. And then once that's ready, it's all going to run on a similar engine. So you'll be able to edit your landing pages similar to this new upgraded email editor. So I anticipate hopefully within, say, a month or 2 of that. I don't want to speak for the product team, but that'll be after the email editor. But all of the coding and hard work is being done now, for that infrastructure. And it should be exciting. We know that that's one of the biggest frustration points is that email editor and extension, some of this landing page stuff is being addressed for you guys. Cool. Did you know that, Annalisa?
Well, what I was gonna say is there isn't a super firm ETA because they're really testing the heck out of it right now. But that sounds about right on timing.
Yeah, I think I know the date. I think there's a goal. And it's about 2 weeks. So.
Good.
Cool. And I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions? Anything else we can talk about here related to landing pages or anything else you might need with KvCORE?
Did anybody learn anything new? If you want to post a yeah or a yay up in the comments, that would be helpful. We're trying to make sure we are getting all encompassing on the different tools of which we have within KvCORE, making sure y'all get a really good understanding of how to leverage them.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll learn something.
So we'll get this replay up. You can always go to insiderealestate.com/replays. Replays. And all our replays are there. We'll be back tomorrow, I think. I'm going to be in Orlando. For those of you, who happen to be at that company, I'll be in Orlando if you want to hang out. So we may not have the marketplace session tomorrow, or we might, but we tentatively have a webinar scheduled tomorrow at 2 about add-ons and extensions that's been rolling. And otherwise, we'll be back next Tuesday, right, Annalisa?
Yes, sir. And I'm just sending a phone number to someone real quick. Okay, yep, we're good to go.
All right. See you guys later. Have a great one.
Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.